One of my goals when this show was created was to establish a rapport with guests while discovering their musical journey. I'm happy to say my guest today is one of them ones. I've had the pleasure to be consistent with our conversations yearly since the show started, and each time it gets better. Whenever I see and hear new music from him, I get excited because I know it's about to be a bop. Welcome back to the show, Kevin Ross. How are
Well,
you?
hey, thank you so much. I appreciate
And
it. Thank you
look,
for having me back.
yes, yes. So I want to start with the hit, the new hit, Love in the
Yeah.
Middle.
Yes.
When I heard it, I was bopping. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, I always have fun when I get prepared to speak to you
Yeah.
because quality music has always been what I equate Kevin Ross with.
Wow.
I always, it's always fun to go back and listen to Midnight Microdose, Volume One and Two, on and on and on.
Yeah.
Love in the Middle, we're getting ready for a new project.
Yes.
Love Uptempo Volume One. So I'm happy because I'm like, okay, it's going to be another volume coming up. Right,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
So Love in the Middle. Let's talk about it because it feels good.
Yes.
Um, Talk about how you put it together. And I know you said this is for the blue collar worker.
Yes.
Love.
This is for the blue collar lovers for sure. And
Yes.
so what ended up happening was I ran into these two amazing producers and writers by the name of Claude Kelly and Chuck Harmony. And they're based in Nashville right now. And so I
Hmm.
went to Nashville and, just very, very organic. They were asking me questions like, so, what is the concept of this album? And I told them, the project is called Love Up Tempo. And I want to do records based off of blue collar lovers. What I noticed from, my shows was that, a lot of teachers and nurses and postal workers and stuff like that, people that have 9 to 5s come to my show. And I really took time to understand why. And the reason why is because they feel like they've been overlooked and underserved as it pertains to love and music that can get them through their day. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to be more intentional about making music for them, things that could be a soundtrack to their day, to their lives. And so I really figured that that was very important. I mean, this is even before the election and stuff like that, where they're going to be more blue collar lovers. The people who thought they were middle class or upper middle class, are starting to get knocked down a little bit to lower middle class or even lower class. And
Yeah.
so we need music during this time as far as to heal, to feel, to feel good about ourselves, especially during times of, controversy and just a tumultuous moments in the country for us right now.
Yeah. Working with Claude, because I know they're in the group Lewis York.
That's right.
Um, how was it working? How is it working with other producers? Because this was a new experience for you. How is
Yeah.
it working for you? Because you're building your catalog.
Yes, yes. It was amazing. I mean, because of the fact that like they are so seasoned. I mean, between Chuck and Claude, they've worked with Michael Jackson, Fantasia, Britney Spears, Ledisi. Their palette is like wide and they know what they're doing. And so do I as well. And so there's nothing like going in with producers and writers that are confident and the artist that is confident and knows what direction that he wants to go into, and that's a producer and writer himself. And so I think that just made the process easier. So it wasn't like pulling teeth. It was really like super organic, trusting Chuck to say, look, you probably play keys better than me. Let's come up with some, melodic stuff and Claude is singing melodies and stuff like that. And I'm like, yes, yes. And we're vibing and it's gelling. And I get on the piano and I'm doing chords for the bridge and all this. So it really came together quite well. And yeah, it was really fun. And so I think this won't be our last time collaborating. So
Have you ever had a session or got connected with someone and it's like they don't get me and we're gonna have to cut this short?
yeah, for sure. I think that if you're not ready or mentally prepared to work, then yeah, like me and you aren't gonna really gel and vibe because I'm there to complete an idea. I'm not there to really vibe. I'm not there to like just sit there and just talk all day and drink and watch TV. I'm really there to create. And so if you're not in that space to do that, then yeah, we're probably not gonna
Right.
work again, and we're probably not going to jail. So yeah,
Time is money.
yeah,
For
yeah,
sure, for sure.
yeah,
For people, as we've been discovering you through all of your work, but I want to anyone new listening, Kevin Ross is a DC based artist, native, strong and proud.
yeah,
You've been hearing him saying, not sing, but sang through the years with beautiful songs, love song away. Sweet release. Let's see what else. I fell up on God as genius.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
your catalog is building,
yeah,
and as a independent artist, what does that mean to you? Because I love that. You know, you got a lot. Like catalog is good.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
and as a business owner and an independent artist, building catalog, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it means everything. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of my livelihood in the sense of, with DSPs being the way that they are, digital streaming platforms, you need as many pieces of content as you possibly can to just keep consumers coming back to your page and, allowing for that, them songs and your artist page to get into their algorithm and stuff like that. But then also when you're performing live, every time that you perform and you get into that market every year, you have a new song to add on to your arsenal and to make sure that, when it's all said and done 5, 10 years from now, whatever, and doing theaters, that not only is the show quality up to par, but they know the songs. Or even if they don't know them by heart, over time they'll be like, "Oh, I forgot about that song," or I am familiar with that song. I just completely forgot about it." That's what makes um, you know, the live performance experience that much more special as it pertains to artists where it's like they've been around for so long. They have these sleepers, and when you go and see them, it's like, "Oh my gosh, like this was my jam. I completely forgot." So your catalog means everything. Like even when I'm putting out records like Love in the Middle or Love Up Tempo, I've seen records, be in my catalog and have been released 2 years, and then all of a sudden it just starts streaming out of
Yeah.
nowhere because somebody posts something on TikTok and it's a viral moment, and then all of a sudden it goes from 50,000 streams to 30 million streams. So I've seen those type of numbers and it happened in a short span. So it's like as long as the music is there and that you keep it of a certain quality, people will find it. And you have to, kind of navigate them there at times. But there are also moments where God is doing all of the heavy lifting, and people will find you. So yeah,
In the middle of putting together Love Uptempo Volume One, I'm like, where does he have time to do it? You recently, well, you're always doing the challenges, and I was like, okay, he has with all the levels of vocals, right?
yeah, yeah,
But you recently did the residual challenge.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
was listening. I was listening to the lyrics. You
yeah.
know, another person, another artist did the residual challenge, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's talking about such and such." When I listened to yours, I
Yeah.
was like, "Is this personal?"
It's not recent personal. It's not
Okay,
recent personal,
okay,
but it is definitely something that I felt like it's a story I could tell, but then also people can kind of, relate to that in the sense of, you know, being infatuated with somebody that is more infatuated with the culture or infatuated with their friends, and the company that they keep is just not of, good standard, or they're toxic, and, they just become a casualty to association. And
yeah,
even though they're not like that, you keep hanging with people, some of them bad habits are going to, get onto you. And so, sometimes you just gotta separate yourself in that sense. And so, it's like, it's the reciprocal of,
yeah,
sometimes you can get residuals in a negative way and a positive. So yeah.
yeah. I love this title, "Love Uptempo,"
Yes.
Volume One. You speak and you sing a lot about love. I think it's
Yeah.
very important in this time. So putting this project together, when it's and all the masses are listening,
Mm.
what was the vision for this project, putting all the songs together?
This was based on high vibrational R&B. This is all high vibrational R&B. What I realized is that it was weird because it wasn't enough of high vibrational R&B in the marketplace. Everything was based off of like, we're in a situationship. What are we doing? We're in the gray. Guys ain't ish. Girls ain't ish. We just survive. Let's just, it's like,
Right.
all right, where is the intention at? Like, I mean, we grown now. Some of my peers, like, y'all got kids and stuff. Like, why y'all, y'all keep talking about the same stuff. I get it, like it kind of sells, but like at a certain point, you got to take a stand and say, all right, we need more love in the world. We need more love in our community. We need more love in our culture. And regardless of how it's received initially, it's like it's there for you when you're ready for it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like I'm just preparing a place for my generation. I'm preparing, a catalog for them to enjoy later on when they decide, whenever they're ready for it. And so, going back to your question, as far as love up tempo, I raised the question of what speed are you living your life at?
Mm.
Right now I'm living my life at a very high pace because of the fact that I got a 2-year-old baby boy. And so all of the time that I used to have in the studio, as far as, 10 to 12 hours a day, has been cut down to 4. Right. And so I can't sit there and just think like, oh, I'm just vibing. I'm going to fill it out. It's like, no, like you're gonna make something today. Like this is what I tell myself every day. It's like you're gonna create something, or like you're gonna get something done, because time is precious, and time waits for no one. And so you still have to deliver music. You still have to build your catalog. You don't have time to overthink as much as you used to anymore, and that has been kind of a blessing for me. And so this is dedicated to the blue collar lovers. This is dedicated to people who enjoy high vibrational R&B or high frequency R&B. And I do understand that when I look at high vibrational R&B, it's kind of like the difference between McDonald's and Nobu is the
Mhm.
fact that those are both places that you can eat, and one is consumed by many, but that doesn't mean that it's good for you, right? And so I've taken the stand of being the latter, of being a noble type of artist, or of high quality, of high standard. I'm not going to change my standard and put something on my menu like chicken nuggets when I feel like the people deserve better. And so I'm going to give you whole food. I'm going to give you things that are going to digest easy when you're ready to eat it. You may not be in a space in your life to enjoy it or to understand it, but that doesn't mean that I need to change anything. And so Love Up Tempo is just another project that I wanted to put out there that is mid tempo, up tempos, so very high energy, that people can sink their teeth into. For the people who've been rocking with me, I think they're gonna really enjoy it. And for the new listeners, I think they'll enjoy it as well. And so yeah, I'm just excited.
I love that.
Yeah,
You while I watch you, while I hear you talk, um, while I was preparing, I see a shift in you, an elevation. You went to another chamber, and I see it because I get a chance to see you every year, right?
yeah.
What was that moment?
As far as the shift, now
The
the
shift.
question back to you is, what do you think the shift was?
I love that volley. Uh, I think that I say this because I'm in a shift, and God has become even bigger and stronger in my life. And I understand, like, how do people do it without God?
Mm,
I see people differently, and I hear things differently.
yeah.
When you know that God got your back and it's gonna be all right,
Ooh,
it's a shift. You feel me?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so I see it in you. And I've been watching your career since the beginning. Look, since the Glade commercials.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I know how the ups and downs of life of being a creator.
Mhm,
And so when I see you, I know how you had the Glade commercial and all the backing, and then you had a little curvy and
mhm,
different stuff, and then you got Artist Society Music Group,
mhm.
and you're a boss, like you've been a boss, but you really understand your bossness. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I hear it in how you speak. So if I had to if I had this talk for you,
Yeah.
that's what I would say.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. I'm really in a place of gratitude in the sense of like to have what you said, a career. I've this has been 11 years of me doing music full time. I did a post about it on Instagram as well. But yeah, 11 years of doing music full time. That means that it's paid all my bills. It's provided for my family. It's allowed for me to go on vacations and support my lifestyle. And for 11 years, I haven't had to think about money like that. That is a blessing to me that I can't take for granted. And though I may not be at the place that I want to be or where people think I should be, the fact that I do music for a living and that it's working and that I'm profitable says a lot to me. And so it gives me great joy. It gives me confidence to move forward to say, okay, if I've accomplished this, now I have the ability to start to scale in a different way. And so it's bigger than just me now. Back in Glade, it was like I was allowing for life to just happen to me. So whatever happened, I was just like, well, why me? Life versus really grabbing it by the reins. And so I think that's a big difference is the fact that my purpose and my mission has been altered and adjusted for a bigger picture that I'm not doing this for the glory of the brand of Kevin Ross. I'm doing this to ensure that the future of R&B is clear and that it is expanded. So the future of R&B to me is not within an artist, is not within a song, even though everybody has their champions or whatever. But the future of R&B is independence. We have not had within R&B a Master P or a Birdman or any of the hip hop entrepreneurs that we can name. We haven't had it. We've had the luxury of having marketing and major label support for 50 plus years now. So now we're in a space where people may not necessarily be completely interested within our genre, but that doesn't mean that it's not needed. And so this is the fork in the road to see it separates the boys from the men at the end of the day, or the girls from the women. It's time for us to take ownership in what we've been putting in. It's time for us to break the glass ceilings, not only just within the record industry, but also within the touring industry. I'm not satisfied with just being handed peanuts because of the fact that the last two ideations of what was supposed to be Kevin Ross was okay with the money that they gave them. It's time for us to break that in order for us to want better for a generation. I will not sit back and allow for another 10 years to pass and allow for this genre that we so called love that everybody keeps talking about that's dying or whatever, uh, finally get buried into the ground or be as obscure as jazz. And there's nothing wrong with jazz. I just want to be very clear about that. But just understanding the sense of jazz is such a now niche and novelty genre that it has limited venues, limited space, limited opportunities and visibility for a lot of the acts. I don't want for R&B to be in that space. And we're playing a very thin line in between it. And so we have to choose that side. And I choose the side of being a part of the crusade of making R&B indie, sexy, profitable, and we gonna move this thing forward. God forbid if my son decides to be an artist, if I didn't do anything to help make his future better, then that was shame on me. And so I'm going to do everything that I possibly can in order to continue to scale the genre.
I love that. I love that. Um, Congratulations on being a creator 11 years and that pays your bills. That's you for a living. Putting in the work, and you may have already said it. And I was like, what was the reward for you when you say, I'm putting the work and this is what I want for my reward?
Mm, I'm gonna be honest. I think the reward has always changed.
Mhm.
Um, my vision wasn't as clear when I first started off. All I wanted when I was younger was to be respected by my peers. For people to know my name, and that was it. And God answered that super fast. And it was like, he was like, and then what? And now what? Are you happy? Are you good? Are you satisfied? And I was like, I feel like he's like, no, you're not satisfied. So let's climb this next mountain. you realize after you become, a mountain climber, you know what I mean? That it's like, oh, it's nothing but mountains. Like,
Right, right.
so now it just becomes a sport, and then it allows for you to endure in a way that I feel like a lot of creatives may not have the luxury to endure. Some people that are extremely talented, they hit it off immediately. God bless them. But when they come across a really hard time, it's difficult for them to navigate because they've never had the ability to endure those hard times. And now you're doing it in front of the world. And I think that's the worst feeling. And so now I kind of, I carry that in stride. It's like, okay, well, like, this is just another bump in the road. Like, let's just, we gonna ride this thing out. You know what I mean? Until
I
the
see
road gets
that.
smooth. Yeah.
I get that. I get that. I want to talk about what would Kevin Ross be doing if he wasn't singing?
Oh, that's easy. I'll be a teacher. Yeah.
But you teaching on stage now though.
Yeah,
You
essentially,
are a
right?
teacher. Word. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited. Excuse me. I'm excited because you're gonna be on the road
Yes,
seeing tours and I see the dates and I said, "Oh, he's going to have more dates on here."
that's
It's
right.
building. It's
That's right.
building. What can we expect on this tour?
Yes, the Love Up Tempo tour. We are coming to a city near you. We are actually coming to Oakland too. I seen that shirt as well.
Right.
So yeah, we'll be in Oakland, June 20th. But yeah, I think what people should expect is entertainment. They should expect for me to fully engage with them. It's not just me. It's gonna be my band. It's gonna be my background singers for every single date. And it's gonna be a show that um like I want for people to have a good time. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I think the greatest thing about for people who have never seen my show is that they always have a misconception that they feel like I'm gonna sound like my record, that I'm gonna come with this like soft singing type of thing, which is a texture that I use within recordings to create a atmosphere. It's not necessarily how I sing every day. Uh, but people are thoroughly surprised, and I think that gives them more enjoyment to be like, I had no clue of what he was going to do. I thought he was just going to sit on a stool and sing, or I thought he was going to stand in one place and sing. I thought he was going to, but it's a show. We're gonna give you a show. You will be thoroughly entertained. And Love Up Tempo Tour is sponsored by Heart and Soul, Sirius XM. So shout out to those good people over there who showed love and stood by me. So yeah.
Oh, and you're I see that you're doing the city winery circuit too as well, correct?
Some of them.
Okay.
I will say that we have been blessed to scale out of some of them. So, like in Atlanta, we won't be a city winery because we're going to center stage. So, to put that into perspective for a lot of artists, any artist that's listening right now, it's okay to start off in smaller venues, but please have the intention to build and to scale. There is a platform that is called Polestar. Polestar holds all of your numbers to every ticket that you have sold in every single venue and location. So, with that being said, these are what promoters are looking at. So when they want to book you, they're looking at Polestar to see your ticket history. So your ticket history all depends on how much you get up front from that particular promoter. So if you're wondering why everybody's lowballing you, they're looking at Polestar. So just be mindful of every venue that you go to, make sure that they have Polestar so that they can report it. So if you sell it out, it needs to be reported. So with that being said, City Winery obviously is a part of Polestar. And so I've been doing Atlanta City Winery for about 3 or 4 years now. And so we moved from one show to two shows and been doing two shows consecutively every time. City Winery holds maybe 312 seats, so 624 is the max as far as for the two shows. So to me, I'm like, well, what's the next venue that's seated that I can go to? Center Stage. Center Stage has 899 seats. So that means that all I have to do is add 200 and some odd butts and seats, which is not completely easy, but you have to have some level of cojones to invest in yourself because what Center Stage is not going to do, what City Winery does, is give you a guarantee, right? Because City Winery sells food, Center Stage doesn't. And so you have to invest into yourself and rent out the venue of Center Stage. So that means the venue, security, all of the workers inside of it, backline for your band or whatever that is will be on stage. A lot of people are afraid of that, but that's a part of scaling and growing and breaking that glass to say, I don't want to do city wineries forever. The only reason why I do them in certain markets is because of the fact that I may not, have completely sold out the two shows in certain markets. So for Atlanta, we were able to scale out. So we are at Center Stage. DC, we scaled out the Birchmere, which holds 500 people. Just this last um, Valentine's Day, we did 1,000 seats or two shows worth. So now it's time for me to scale into the Howard Theater or Lincoln Theater, which is 1,200 to 1,300 seats. So to me, that's the goal. So I know that was like a
No.
long,
Look, you're the
elaborate
teacher. Look, you're the
answer.
teacher. The teacher.
It's elaborate answer. But the only reason why I'm doing City Wineries, and thank you, City Winery, for rocking with me and having a venue for artists that are trying to scale and build. But yes, so St. Louis City Winery, Chicago City Winery, which hopefully after this City Winery Chicago, I will be scaling to another place. We have Boston, New York. Um, we got a whole bunch of places. So I'm excited, and yeah, we're gonna keep building.
I said the teacher is always a student as well because we continue to learn. And I feel like I've never asked you this, but when you created Artist Society Music Group,
Mhm.
how did you come up with the name? And how does it feel to be a business owner in addition to an artist?
Our society music group was based off of like how I feel. I feel like I'm an artist advocate, and so I feel like my production and record label should be a reflection of that. It should be, a safe space and a hub for creatives. If they want to partner with me, and I'm going to be very transparent with them, and all that good stuff. So that's where it came from. Is just to be a hub for artists and be an advocate for them, and yeah, to be a business owner. It's been a huge learning curve for sure because I just thought that I was just creative. I thought that's what I would ever, I would never be anything else. But I'm definitely uh, excited about everything that I've been learning every day in the sense
Yeah,
of just my business acumen. I'm forever curious about numbers and how to move within a room and how to communicate, with other businessmen and how to partner with them and yeah, and like I said, my main word a lot, my team and everything is scaling and growth, and to make sure that every year that we have incremental growth, whether it's even based on a sliding scale. To me, that matters in the grand scheme of things as it pertains to what I'm trying to do overall.
I love that. And I just want to end with what's the fun part of life in your job right now?
I think releasing product is, I
Mhm.
think, the most fun, because you get to, experience like, or at least like, people commenting like them experiencing your music for the first time or this particular project for the first time, and it's really awesome. I mean, even like doing shows, and I'll ask like how many people have seen me before, and just to hear that roar, that applause get bigger every time. It lets me know that it's like, okay, I'm on the right path, and this is fun. Out of all of the things that are hard and difficult and taxing, it's all worth it. It's all worth it in the end. So yeah, it's dope.
I love that. Well, I can't wait to see you on stage on this tour, Love Uptempo Volume One. I'm
Yes.
really looking forward to it. And I fly out, so it don't even matter where you're gonna be.
Hey,
Like I
pull
gotta
up.
come. Okay. I'm gonna pull up. Thank you for continuing your musical journey and letting us see it. There's never been a question of can he sing or can he not. That
Ah,
that's that's what it is. That's what
yeah.
it is. I look forward to every time I get a chance to talk to you and just get updated and continue to learn your musical journey.
Thank you. Thank you
So I
so much.
appreciate it. Appreciate it. My
Oh,
guest today is Kevin Ross with the Hybrid Soul with Kelly Kinkaid, your destination for music and culture discovery. Until next time.